Hello, I'm Claire and I'm here to help you get better at ballet. And this week we have another one of our ballet bursts. I've been a bit slack on this one. I did one and I haven't done one for a few months. So you're probably all thinking, oh, is she going to do another one? And I am. So I have created a mini ballet class. So if you haven't got a lot of time, this will be good for you. You can literally, once you understand the foundations of how to do everything, you can literally skip to each exercise and probably complete a mini ballet class in maybe 10-15 minutes. So that's something you could do maybe every morning if you wanted. I'm not saying you have to do ballet class every day, but if you find something that you enjoy doing, it's so good for you, and it's something that you can use as part of your natural, I don't know, your getting up process to make you feel good in the morning. I go for a walk because I do ballet virtually every day anyway, but you know, having that something that you look forward to in the morning that you do before you have to do all the other stuff that you don't want to do is really helpful. Anyway, or you could do it as your evening thing, your treat when you get back from work before everyone else gets back home, and you can have a little ballet moment to yourself. It is entirely up to you how to make it work for you. It might be something you only have time to do once a week. At least it's better than sitting on the couch. If you're doing something, you're going in the right direction. So just to introduce myself, if you don't know me, I'm Claire, and I've been teaching ballet for about 10 years now. And I teach the RAD method of ballet, which is the Royal Academy of Dance. And it's a method that I learned as a real young child. I did then go on to Cecchetti during college and Russian, and I've come back to RAD for my teaching. I like the way the syllabus progresses. I like the way you see something introduced right at the beginning and gradually it gets harder and harder and builds on it. And you can see that same step progress all the way through from, say, pre-primary all the way through to the more advanced levels. And I like the fact that they encourage you to work with your body. So, you know, there are certain elements. Ballet is hard and it's not designed for your average body. However, you can still perform ballet movements beautifully within your limitations. Yes, you can push yourself. Yes, you can ease yourself to get better and stronger and able to go beyond those normal limits. But that's something that you need to do slowly and incrementally, not forcing it and not running the risk of injury, which can sometimes happen if you get a bit carried away. Anyway, on to the class. So we are going to start, I'm going to start up here. We're going to start with the warm-up, and you've got 4 counts introductions. You've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, you're going to start with your right leg, dégagé devant, turned out, making sure that turnout's coming from the top of your hips. Top of your legs, from your hip sockets. Today, my aim is all about line and alignment. So making sure shoulders and hips are facing directly forwards, and that when you do stretch that leg forward, it's almost like it's coming from your belly button, yes? From your belly button through your hip, turning that leg out, through the knee, through the ankle, right to the tip of the toe. Now you will find, if I have my toes elongated, sometimes it might look like I'm not fully stretched. So you might find you have to just really stretch those toes a little bit more so that they follow the curve of that foot. So you're really stretching that foot. Arms in demi-second. I think of like shoulders down, elbows lifted, armpits pulled down, but have a little space so you don't get too sweaty, okay? And we are going to go forward and back. You go transfer and back. That's a bit tricky for you. Imagine you're pushing a swing. Yes, you do 2 of them and then you turn parallel, knees forward, roll through the feet, and 7 and 8. And the left leg and back, and back. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. To the right, it gets a little more bouncy as you go through here. Then we have little 1, 6, 7 and 8, and the left. 2 and 3 and 4. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. It's not a long warm-up, okay? So if you feel, I might need to do that again, absolutely stop, rewind and do that again. Or before you even start, a little brisk walk around the room. Or just raise your heart rate slightly and get your body moving a little bit more so you're ready to do class. To be honest, these ballet bursts are pretty much going to be a bar, yeah? Because as in holding onto the rail, not bar as in having a beer. Because realistically, you're not going to be able to get from bar to centre in 15 minutes. So just so you know, it's a form of ballet. I'm not going to be going into full-on dancing and jumping without a really full class beforehand. So our first exercise, we'll do it with the music. So engaging the core, turning those legs out, and dégagez devant. I'll just get my music prepped. Here we go. 2, 3, and 4. Really soft, relaxing the knees. 3, 4, and 5. It's a little bit slower if you've done my classes before. And left leg, just really control it. 3, 4, keeping those hips nice and square. 6, 7, 8, and side, side. It gets bouncy. And little runs through the feet. And back, too slow. And little runs through the feet. Done. Okay, see what I mean? It's a bit short and sweet, so you might want to do that one again. So now what you want to do is get yourself a chair or something that you can hold, ideally that's waist height. If you can't get anything waist height, yeah, it could be a bit lower or a bit higher, it's not the end of the world, but try and make sure you're in a comfortable position so that arm is relaxed. You don't want to be up here and the elbow up here or back here and like that, or you don't want to be leaning towards it, yeah? So adjust your position so that if I'm going to use the wall, it's not ideal. If I'm going to use the wall, I've got my arm out kind of to second. Ideally, I'd want it a bit more there. And I'm not adjusting my weight in order to be able to hold the bar. If you've got quite a low chair, which sometimes happens, chair backs aren't always waist height. If it's a little bit low, maybe stand a little bit closer than you would normally to the bar so that you can still relax this arm and you're upright, you're not kind of leaning towards your chair like that. Okay, so get yourself nice and placed. I'm going to hold on to the wall, which isn't ideal, but making sure that my hips and shoulders are absolutely square to you, the camera. Okay, so we're going to stand in first position. The heels touching. If you haven't done my classes before, I do strongly recommend you going back and looking at the video on the real ballet basics. It'll give you the positions of the legs, how to stand. I will always remind you in class, but it's always a good idea to look at those as well, just to get that really nailed in. So really think of pulling that belly button in nice and strong so the hips are neutral and using these muscles at the back of your legs to turn those legs out. Okay, so one hand on the bar, it goes ya da 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 2 da 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 3 da 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 4 da 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 down and up. Breathing out, breathing in, rising up from that core and open and lower. Let the hand slide forward. You're going to hang on to the back of the legs. Forward 2, uncurling from the base of the spine. 3 and 4 and a rise. And a lower and a tendu into second, same in second and up, just demi-pliés, down, knees over toes, and a rise and a lower. I'm still hanging onto the back of my legs with the bottom of my bottom. We go up, imagine you're between 2 sheets of glass, up and a open and a rise. And a lower and a tendu into third or fifth. Yeah, third is here, fifth is a bit more crossed. We've got down and a up and a down and a up and a rise and a lower. Keep it nice and even. We go away from the bar. Over, finding first, and a open, and a rise, and a lower, and a tendu close behind, and a down, down, and up. Same there, down and up, rise a lower, rise a lower. This time we're going to go down, up, and back. Now, when you're doing a back board bar, it's not from the waist, yeah? Imagine you've got a bar here, and your shoulder blades are going up and over that. Look at the elbow, that protects your nuts. You're not going like that. Yes, you look at your elbow as you're going back. You should feel a bit of a stretch. It's not about a massive back bend. It's about that up and back. You're working your thoracic spine, which is not that mobile. So you're kind of giving it that little lift. Think of chest up to the ceiling. That's what you're aiming for. Okay? So here we go. We've got some lovely music here. Breathing in. Breathing out. Melt and stretch. Melt and stretch. Rise. Oops, I'm a bit too close. And rise and open. Hang on to the back of your legs. Don't pull back on your legs. 2. Uncurl. Rise. Lower and tendu. 2 seconds. Keep hold of your bar. Down and up. Down. To the bar. Breathing in, breathe out. Feel that stretch here. And stretch right to the tip of the toes. I forgot the rise. And down. Up. And melt and stretch. A rise. A lower. And rise. And lower. We go away from the bar. Over. Find first. And open. And rise. Lower. Tendu. Close behind. And down. You thought it was going to finish then, didn't you? And down. And up. Rise and lower. Rise and lower. We go through bra bar, through first. And back. Open. Rise. Lower. Tendu. Close in front. Let's pull into a rise. Any arms you fancy? If you're really nailing it, you can always pick up a foot. Give you that extra little bit of a challenge. And finish. Good. Okay, let's do the other side. So turning around, I'm going to be this way. I'm going to pretend to have a bar on the other side. First position, breathing in and out. Breathe and in, down and in, and rise and low, and rise, low. Forward. Now, no, I'm not doing that. I'm keeping on those legs. And rise. It's much easier when you actually have a bar. Tendu to second. I'm going to hold the ball. Down and up. Down and up. We rise and lower. Rise and lower. To the bar. Breathing in. And over. Rise. And tendu into third or fifth. Down. And rise. Lower. Rise and lower. Up to the center. Find first and open. And rise and lower. Tendu. Close behind. Breathe. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And rise and lower. And rise and lower. We're going to go back. Looking at that elbow. Rise, lower, Roll into a rise. We're going to use these adductors here to draw those legs across. Use your piriformis at the back. Spread your toes out like fingers. Any arms you like. Always have your head angled towards the front leg. And then wait for the silence before you bring your heels down. Well done. I wasn't nailing my balance there. I was a bit off, so I didn't pick my foot up. But if you're feeling really secure on that balance, always a good idea. We used to, at college, we used to actually swap. Go one leg, then the other leg. So you're really feeling that center. Call it the plumb line, like what builders use to find that absolute vertical. Imagine you've got a plumb line running right through your center to get that real vertical feeling. Here we go. So my next exercise for you is Tendus. It's a slightly different pattern to what I'd normally do. In this exercise, we're going to do the exercise to the front, to the back with the inside leg, and then we're going to do it to the side. Talking of which, I'm going to have to angle it this way, otherwise I'm going to kick the box. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ankle, toe, and the toe, then the ankle, out and in, and out and in. Tendu outer, flex the foot and point it and the close. Put your weight onto it. To the back, yada da dum, out and in, and out and in. And dum, and flex the foot and close the foot again. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6, 7, 8, and 1, and 2, hip. Keeping it nice and square and close. We have Tendu flex, point and a close. Tendu flex, point and a close. Tendu flex, point and a close. Tendu flex and point and close. Float the arms down in. Don't know if the music will finish, but it'll float the arms down at the end, okay? So every time you do a Tendu, we're thinking line and alignment. Keep your shoulders and hips absolutely square to your front. When you go to second, the way the RAD teaches it is that you go according to your turnout. If your turnout's here and you're keeping your hips nice and square to your front, your Tendu to second is going to go on a very slight diagonal. If your turnout is here and you're absolutely 180-degree turnout coming from the hips, it is going to go to the side, okay? But most beginners and a lot of adult dancers don't have the mobility in their hips yet to do that. So go to where your hips naturally go. Think of turning out in your hips. Your feet will follow, and that is your turnout that you can hold from your hips. And that's where your second goes, okay? Obviously, if you're training professionally, you're aiming to get that 180 degrees and aiming for your leg to go up behind your arm when you do Battements and things. But it depends what you're aiming to do with your class. Yes, it depends where you're aiming with your ballet classes. So, starting in third or fifth position, again, making sure that turnout is coming from the hips and not from your knees. So focus on your hips getting into first. Two ways I get into third rather is I either turn my legs out from the hips and then cross one leg in front of the other, or this is quite a good one as you get a bit more confident, think of your leg like a key in the lock. Turn it out, stand on it. Turn it out, put the other one there, keeping that squared. Now I'm working my turnout muscles in my legs, my hip rotators, to hold that turnout. Here we go. Let's do it with the music. And 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out and in, out and in, out, 2. Flex the foot and point, and in. Put your weight onto it. Try not to let the hips twist. And side. And out, in, to the side. And point and close. Tendu flex. Keeping that leg turned out the whole time. Good. You could have turned around. Right, so turn around and do the other side. And 1, 2. Out. Ankle, toe, flex, point, and in. Ankle and the toes. Still using that same movement even on the fast one. And in. To the side, 2. Out and in. And 1. Okay, so pliés and tendus, and as I said, what you can do is once you know the exercises, you can scoot straight there and just go straight into the exercise. For our last actual exercise, we will have a cool down at the end as well. We have grand battement. Now, grand means big. These do not have to be big unless you're aiming that way. Yeah, so yes, if you're really striving to really ramp up your ballet, yes, aim to have those grand battements as high as you can do whilst they're beautifully placed. Okay, if you're just beginning, or if you're a relative beginner, keep them low. Think of the control in the core and think of making that swish. Yeah, can you hear that swish on the floor? Try and make that swish with your foot on the floor. Okay, and what that is you pressing with your foot in the floor, and the amount of energy that you're using to press into that floor. The minute you run out of floor, that energy's got to go somewhere. So it's going to throw your leg up in the air. Okay, as long as this is held super strong, that leg will just fly up. Okay, you're not having to hike your muscles. It just happens. Yeah, it's quite magical. So one hand's on the bar, and again your hips are nice and square. Again, I'm going to do it not square to the camera. I'm going to do it square to my front so that I don't end up kicking the wall or the box or anything else for that matter. So goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And again, with all my exercise, if you want, you can have your hand on your hip. We've gone back more. I quite like to put my hand on the shoulder, making sure that elbow stays lifted, but the shoulder is down, not up here. Yeah, so it gets you holding your arm in your back here under your shoulder blade. So it goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It goes tendu, a lengthen, a point and a close and a swish. Close and a swish and close to the side. Again, going to where your turnout allows, and a swish and close and a swish. Don't forget to show that dégagé. A tendu, a lengthen, point and a close. Your hips will tip forward, but we don't want them to twist. And single to the back, single to the side, single to the front, and up and up, if you're feeling strong enough. Now what I did there was a relevé. I went plié, I went, sucked my legs together. If that's a bit too much for you, you can just do a rise and up. Yes, when you do a relevé, your balls of your feet do draw together because you're drawing your legs together to kind of cross into one leg. If you're doing a rise, your balls of your feet will stay in the same position. Again, make it work for you at your level, okay? Important thing with this one, keep control of your supporting leg. So lifting that kneecap, holding that turnout, keep control of your core. Keep this leg turned out, because when it turns parallel, this muscle gets in, your quads get involved, and it all gets a bit scrunched up here, okay? They are involved, but when you turn out, they're kind of to one side, so they allow that freedom of movement. When you go to the side, it's actually being turned out, actually gets this bone at the top of your femur and tucks it behind you so it doesn't get in the way. If I do a grand battement onto the side parallel, my knee facing forward, that bone gets in the way and I can't actually physically lift it beyond there because it's pinching, okay? When you go to the back, the temptation is to do that. You don't want to drop your back forward, but your hips can tip forward slightly. Yes, again, different systems will vary on the finer details of this. You don't want to twist, but if you're absolutely square, you might find yourself going a bit parallel and struggling to actually turn out. Really use that glute to hold that turn out and aim for proper square hips with a bit of tippage. As I said, this strong, make the swish. Don't forget the tendu, yes, so it goes up, point, close. In this exercise, you can really see how much easier it is when you get the swish. So it shows you how it helps you, yes. When you do the tendu and lift, it's like, oh, lead weight. However, if you imagine someone's pulling your toe away from you and you think of lengthening that leg so much that it floats up in the air, that does make it a bit easier. Here we go. So we've got tendu, lengthen, point, 2 grand battements. Same to the front, same to the side, same to the back. Then it's single back, side, front, releve, arm, and balance if you can at the end. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Tendu and lengthen. Keeping this leg really straight. And tendu, lengthen. And to the back. Fab. Let's do that the other side. Remember, always turn around towards the bar. Third or fifth position. Strong tummies, strong turn-out muscles. And tendu and lengthen. I'm pulling my armpits down. Yay! Lovely. Right, that's almost it. So hopefully you've got a bit of a sweat on, you've engaged your core a little bit, you've loosened your legs up a little bit. Again, don't aim to go too high. Don't try and push those legs up. Grand battements are not used to stretch your legs. They're used to prepare for jumps, yeah? Once you're super hot and sweaty, which I am a bit now, it's quite a warm day. Once you're super hot and sweaty, once you've finished this, then's the time to stretch and get those muscles a little bit looser and do a little bit of gentle static stretching, yes? And onto our cool down. So we have no introduction for this one. So we're going to start straight away with our leg out. I'm going to move slightly so that I'm slightly over here, yeah? So we're going to go here. So it goes 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5 and a 6, a 7 and 8 and again and a 2, a 3 and a 4, 5 and a 6, 7 and 8 into first and up, perm parallel as you relax down to the floor. Now, again, with this bit, if you can't go down to the floor, absolutely fine. You can use your thighs for support. Don't put your hands on your knees, hands on your thighs, and just relax over your legs. Okay, making sure you can spread your toes out. If you can go down further, look at the wall behind you so you're not scrunching your neck. You're going to go 2 pliés, down and up, and down and up, making sure your weight is on the balls of your feet, not back on your heels, yeah, because then you can hyperextend your knees. So your weight is slightly forward. You can put some weight on your hands if you can reach. Down and up, down and up. Then we're going to spiral to our right leg. So you're just going to slightly put your chest towards your right leg. That's a stretch through your glute and your left spine, or the left side of your body, around your ribs. And then you spiral the other way, still relaxing that neck. Then you come back center, flex your knees, and then from the base of the spine, 1 vertebra at a time, keeping those shoulders relaxed, looking at your toes, uncurl, yada-da-da-da. Use the muscles to turn out. Music's that way. So we step and there, and thank you, and up, and step to there, and thank you, and up. So ready for it. I'll say ready and, so be ready and rock, 2, 3, down, 2, 3, and down, 2, 3, straight legs, down, 2, 3, and down, chest, parallel, rolling down. Look at the wall behind you, bend and stretch, bend and stretch, and wait, and wait, and spiral, come center, and spiral, come center. Flex your knees and slowly uncurl. And one, and down, and one, and down, and give yourself a clap. Yay! Fab. Fantastic. I really hope you enjoyed that class. I know it's a short and sweet one. If you want to dance with me, I have a special offer on at the moment. You can have a class completely free. It's an online pre-recorded class, completely free. Just click on the link in the comments below, at the top of the comments below, and you can try one of my classes and get more of a feel. It's more of a sort of 45-minute class. You can get more of a feel of exactly what it's like to do a class with me. If you like that, you can join the club, join bridgeballet.club, and you can do an online recorded class anytime, night or day, or you can also join my live classes as well. So check that out too. See you later. Take care. Oh, don't forget, I always forget this bit. Don't forget, if you like this video, do click the like button. If you have any questions, pop a question in the comments below, or let me know how you're getting on. I'd love to hear how my dancers are getting on. Love to hear if I'm helping you. But if something's confusing you, ask me and I can explain it. Okay? Share with your friends and I'll see you later. Bye.